Hello everyone, so today we'll be trying to reproduce this image which I've found on Reddit on r/generative. Hopefully we can get some similar results. Um, so we might not be going exactly on this specific thing, like doing exactly what is shown in here, right? But I want to get similar results. See, so we have, let's just think of it as one, maybe this over here, one time. Let's try to create just this one uh, version, and then we can add multiple of them to make it bigger, right? So let me go on the whiteboard and explain it, right? And just keep in mind this image whenever I explain it on the whiteboard, because I'll be showing it to myself on the screen while I try to explain it. All right, so, okay, let me go on the board. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect, awesome. So, I was thinking of a class, um, maybe circle, and it would be like a group of circles, right? It won't be a single circle, but we'll start with a class circles, which we can just add onto, right? Is this in focus? Maybe a little bit. So let me try cleaning it a little bit. Okay, hopefully it's better. All right, so the first circle, right? So circle would maybe take xy, or the center of the circle. It would maybe also take like an offset, right? So because it's kind of going into one direction, right? So the first circle is, let's say, here, and then the bigger circle is a little bit to the right, right? So the first thing we notice is that the first smaller circle is really low opacity, right? So between its color that it needs to be, so we'll also have like a color. And here we'll have like an alpha value really high, right? So it'll be almost transparent. And on the image that we saw, it seems like the background is black. So this ring would be really close to black. And then afterwards, there's, let's say, this one, a little bit less close to black. And this one, and this one, right? So on and so forth. And they're kind of going into, right? So the offset value would be for the direction of where the circle xy needs to go offsetted, right? So that's the goal. And we need to leave like a gap between those, right? So this gap, I guess this gap would be based on the offset value. We might want to modify the offset as the circle gets bigger, the offset gets smaller, right? Or something like this. But we'll see. I think for the initial first draft, we will not be using the offset, and we'll just be doing them centered to one another. And then we can add on to this, right? And here we can have also an amount, right? Amount. So the amount of circles that we want for this circle, right? Well, circle, it's not maybe the best class name for this, but a circle would be like an multiple circles, an agglomeration of circles, right? And I think we should also pass it a base radius, right? Because the other circle, after we've drawn this one, for example, the other circles needs to be starting at that radius, right? Not at the same radius as the first one. So that's what I'm thinking. And we'll have in here maybe an array of circles, or like an array with the x, y, or we could directly create those. So maybe circle could just be not even a class, but a function. Since we don't need to keep track of anything, the xy will be keeping track outside of it, and we'll be passing it to this function. So I'm thinking class circle doesn't make too much sense for our use case, so maybe a function circle. So let's try to get this base principle going. Okay, here it is. All right, so let's create our function. So we'll have over here. Hopefully you can see everything. Let me close this as well. And if this is not big enough, hopefully this is. If it's too big for me and I cannot see enough code in here, I'll just make it a little bit smaller. Hopefully it's fine with you. If it's not, let me know. So we'll have functions, maybe not circle because there's already a P5 function called circle. So maybe, what function name could we have? We could have circles, right? I think that's fine. So circles is going to take an X, a Y, a radius. What else did we say? We said an amount, right? Amount. And currently we'll have called a variable called spacing for right now. This will be temporary, the spacing variable. We might want to throw it away later on. And we'll have a color as well. So color, I'll be putting color before spacing. And yeah, sure. And I'll just use 2 L's because color is already a keyword in P5, so I don't want to use it with it, right? Okay. So we will first do a loop which goes between 0 and the amount. So we expect amount to be an integer, right? A whole number. And then we'll have, we'll calculate the alpha. I think alpha is like this, or is it pH? Let me just look it up real quick because I'm not great with words, it seems. Alpha color. RGB. A is for alpha pH. Awesome. That's what I thought, but wasn't sure. Alpha. Okay, great. So the alpha should be a map which goes, which takes I, which goes between 0 and the amount, and the alpha value needs to be between 0 and 255. So what we'll do is we'll basically say that whenever I is 0, the alpha should be really low. So maybe like 40, and otherwise it'll go up to 255. 40 and not 0 because I still want to see the circle. Maybe 40 is too much, we will see. So that's fine. So the radius, right? So we'll do const start radius, which the start radius should just be the radius, and const end radius should be equal to basically spacing, well, the current radius plus spacing times the amount. Okay, good. Okay, so now what we can do is const r for radius, but radius we've already used, so, and we'll map between, we'll map I, which goes between 0 and the amount. Well, the amount minus 1, but we'll see. 0 and the amount, and we will use the start and end radius. Okay, great. What else? Okay, so we already know x and y. So what we'll do is just do a circle at x comma y with radius. Well, here it needs a diameter, right? So radius times 2. So r times 2. Okay, great. And we'll do we'll do here color. Color here should be, we'll basically use the stroke as the color. So we'll do color comma alpha. Damn, I can't write today, it seems. And what I'll do is color, I'm expecting color to be RGB as an object. R, G, and B. And the alpha will be the last one, right? Okay, so let me just take the color value from the image over here. Let me zoom in, can I? No, it doesn't change anything. So let me figure out what the color is. Maybe this. Sure, that's fine. So RGB, okay. Can't I copy it? Yeah. I just want to use the freaking website. God. Okay, well, I don't seem like I can. Let me just pick some colors using my favorite site. This colors site. Let me go into tools, export palette, and we'll just figure out which color we want. I think this one looks good. So I'll just view the palette, open palette, there you go. And let me select RGB, there you go. Copy this, let's go down here, let's do const color equal, or just C, because like I said, color is a reserved keyword, and we'll just do R, G, and B. Awesome. Let's format this. Let's move this. Whoa, let's move this to the top, just because I like my constant to be always at the top of the code, just so that it's easy. Everything is at the same place, and I can know just to go up whenever I want to change it, so it's easier. And then I don't think I'll be using draw much, so let me just remove it altogether, and we'll just use setup. If needed, we can add it back later on. So here I'll do first thing first, no fill, since I will be using the colors with the background and the stroke of the circles, not the actual fill color of the circle. I don't want them to be filled. And we'll do a background of 0 black, just like the sketch was. And then we can do from the middle of the screen. Radius, I think it's fine. Otherwise we can always, no, I think it's fine. What I want to do is do maybe stroke weight be equal to the spacing divided by 2. Okay, so now let's do circles at middle of the screen, we said, with dth divided by 2 and the height divided by 2 with and then the radius. So let's do the radius being, let's say, a base of 30 or maybe 20. The amount, let's do 15 or 20 even, it's fine. And then the color should be the C. And then spacing, let's do a spacing of maybe 20 as well. And that's it, I think. There we go. So we got the results similar to what we wanted, I think. So now we basically need to offset everything to a given side, right? So how would we go about doing this? I think we're close to the sketch. Like here, if I go back to this, right? Let me open this copy image address or open image in new tab. There you go. Save image. There you go. I'll just save this image. Well, never mind. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. Can I zoom in? There you go. Okay, great. So I'm noticing first thing first, the stroke is a lot smaller, right? And the spacing is a little bit bigger. So maybe do 30 for the spacing, and the radius, let's do 10. No, radius is fine. It's the, let me put, well, the stroke weight should be maybe divided by 3, right? Let me go back here. Divided by 4. Okay, and let me put this back to 20. That's okay. I think that's fine. Maybe we want to pass the specific weight to the function, right? That could also be an option. But for right now, I'll be using the spacing to figure out the stroke weight. I'm fine with that. Okay, now the offset, right? So I'm thinking, so if we were to take a look at the sketch, well, at the image here, right? So this is the image. Let me put it in a bit full screen. Can I zoom in more? Yes. Okay, great. Great. So over here, right? So I think it's still a circle. I think, at least to me, it looks like a circle. Maybe on the actual render, it doesn't look like a circle. I might have stretched the actual screen size to make it fit on OBS, but trust me, it's a circle. Now, how do we calculate the offset? I'm thinking the smaller the circle, the smaller the radius is, the more offsetted it is, right? So let me move this back where it was. Okay. So give me a second. Okay, there we go. So the smaller I is, the more moved it is, the more of the offset that we use, right? So I'm thinking n the radius divided by 2 should be our offset, right? For the smallest circle. Okay, so const, okay, let me try this, right? So x should be a map, x plus map of I, which goes between 0 and amount, to end radius divided by 2 to 0. Okay, if I tried this, I think we're pretty much on the way for success in this sketch, at least. So I think we're looking good. Now, for right now, the offset will always be to the right. I'm okay with that. And maybe instead of divide by 2, I can do divide by 3. It'll be, sorry. Let's do times 0 0.9, 0 0.8. Sure. So times 0 0.6 should do it a little bit less. Times 0 0.7 should do it a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I want to pass the weight here, right? Weight, and weight will be used here. So spacing, I'm good with 20, and let's do a weight of maybe 10. Okay. One thing as well is maybe the color, it's a little bit too much. Maybe this color is, I thought it was looking good, maybe it's a bit too much. Let me try maybe this one, right? So let me copy this, and let me paste it here. I use 188, let me write those. 188, 158, and 33. All right. Let me see now. That's fine. Maybe it's a bit too vibrant for me, right? I don't know. No clue. Let me do like 20 instead, right? So this is a bit darker, and let me do like 220 instead of 255, maybe even 200. That's good. That's looking good to me, at least. So end radius, it's based on the spacing times the amount. So I'm thinking, so let me do this, right? Maybe I want to pass an object, it's easier to see, but I think I'm fine with this current setup that we have. It's just a sketch. Afterwards, you can always make it better. There is definitely a way to make it better. For right now, I'm just doing it as I go. So I think it could return the end radius. That could be good, because we might want to use that end radius for the next circles that we draw. Okay, give me just a second. I need to take care of something. All right, I'm back. Sorry, had to take care of something. Okay, so this looks good. So let me look on my other screen for the original version. Okay, so I think we'll want to do maybe a larger canvas. Okay, all right. So now let me try to do over here. We'll have let and radius, and this value is going to be used with the other. So let x be equal to width divided by 2. These special characters, I don't know where they're coming from. If somebody can help me figure out how to remove them, please let me know down in the comments below. Let y equals the height divided by 2. Let, I know I'm using lets right now. I might want to change those to const a little bit later on. So we have radius, amount, color. Radius, which is 20 right now. Amount, let's do amount of 3. Of maybe 10, right? Let c, well, c we already have as a variable. Let, and then after the color we have spacing. So maybe spacing, let's do spacing of 10. Spacing, and then after that the weight, I think it's fine. So the end radius, we're just going to copy this over here just for the first end radius. Afterwards we'll be reusing, we'll be assigning end radius based on the previous one. Now let me do something. Let me set all of those variables up. X, Y, radius. Here it's amount, and here it's spacing. Okay, and the weight, let me do 5 instead. Okay, that's looking better. Let me do amount a little bit better. Amount of 20. And spacing times amount and radius, that makes sense, but I want maybe the spacing to be a little bit less, like 8. Sure, that's fine. Maybe a bit thicker weight, so maybe 6. Okay, that's good. It's good with me, at least. I know it seems stretched on your hand. Let me try to correct this, right? Okay, sorry for the video. We're still figuring things out right now, Okay. I think I get it. Okay. I think that seems more like a uh, actual circle. In any case, hopefully I didn't bother you too much with that. But now I'll leave it like that. Okay, now let's do 4. And let's do end radius as the radius to begin with. I don't think I need to calculate it. Here it'll be end radius. And I'll do 4, let I equal 0. I is less than 10. Let's just start with 10. I plus plus. Now let's do this. Save. Okay. So it seems like we have an issue. Let's take a look. Oh god, computer is really lagging right now. It's probably because I messed up something. Okay. Okay. So that's good, but it's drawing all of them on top of each other, right? So I need to do this. Okay. Okay, we're getting some results. Not exactly what I was expecting. Um, definitely not what I was expecting. But I guess it's interesting for sure. What could be doing this? So let me think. I think the radius is fine, but so I'm thinking right now, I didn't offset properly. So possibly I should be doing this like that. Okay, I mean, we're getting some different results for sure. Again, not what I was expecting. Maybe 10 is way too much. Let me do 2 to start with. We'll debug it as we go on, right? Okay, so, well, times 0.5, 0.2. Okay, so it's really the offset that I need to figure out. All right, let me think about this. So right now I'm offsetting the bigger circles. So the smaller circle are based on the middle, and the bigger ones are not. But I need the first circle drawn in that loop to be really on the edge of the last circle. Okay, I know what's going to need to happen, right? So I'll need to pass in offset. All right, so offset should be added to x. And I'll just set it to 0 so we can still see something. All right, and I want to return end radius and the offset. Let's do new offset. Let me also mute. Okay, so we'll have const let new offset be equal to the new offset should be basically the last map value, right? I think. So we'll just do this, right? I don't need this. So offset by default. So we'll have let offset be equal to 0 to begin with. And here we'll say end radius and offset. And we'll be passing offset into here. There you go. I think we've got it to a science. And I'll do I'll do const and offset be equal to this, and we'll just use end offset in here. And offset, great. And so now we can just change it here, right? So if I wanted 0.5, 0.3, okay. Oh yeah, and I need to use this over here. And now if I were to do it, say 5 times, why as it's getting bigger it's not doing it properly, right? It's not calculating the offset properly. Right now for 2 it's fine, for 3 it's almost fine. So what is the issue here? I like what it's getting to, right? We're getting closer to what we want, but we're not there yet. We're close to it though. What I'm thinking is maybe I want the spacing to be smaller, a lot smaller. Not that small. Okay, let me do it 3 times. Okay, let me think. Maybe the weight could be a little bit smaller as well. Okay. Why is it not getting up to the edge? Oh, should it be the cumulated offset? Oh, I don't think so. Seems like n radius divided by 2. Let me see what this dits give us. Too much. Too much. It's way too much. Times 0.3. It's not getting the results I want. Oh, it should be based on the start radius, right? Yeah, there you go. And now I can do 0.5. Yes, I think. Right. But let me still keep 0.3. Let me do like 2 more. Should I just add to the x the offset? Possibly. Shouldn't change the results. Okay, I think we're getting closer to what we actually wanted to begin with. What I'll do is I'll do width divided by 4, just to move it to the left a little bit so we can see the bigger picture. I think I'll just draw it 4 times. It's still not going to be what I want, but anyway. So as it's getting bigger, right? The larger radius. Okay, let me do it 4 times. Let me think here. So what is the issue? The x should be offsetted to the right amount, -1 maybe? No, that didn't change much. R times 2, that's fine. Y, it's fine. and offset, right? Maximum offset it should have. Well, to begin with, it shouldn't have any offset, actually, right? So it's really weird that it's not showing up on the edge of the last radius. Okay, so the offset I need to return actually might be in the radius times this, but I want to calculate based on the, no, that still doesn't make any sense. And the radius, hmm. Hmm. Let me pause the video right now and I'll just try to figure out what's wrong, what's going wrong with it, and come back to you. Okay, think I got it. I was pretty close to it. So I needed to move x, the initial x, to the right a little bit, right? So this one, this map here that we had, I needed to change this, which was 0, to offset. And now if I were to do 0.5, now it should, well, close. Radius, yeah, it's a bit better. Anyway, and radius, I'm good with that. No, 0.3, okay, that's fine. All right, I think we're pretty much done with it. What I would suggest you to do is try to make this, right? So changing the colors as you add more layers to it. Maybe I'll want to do spacing times 2, right? Just to be able to add a little bit more onto this. Maybe spacing times 3 times 4. So the initial radius is the initial radius is a bit bigger. Maybe not spacing, but n radius plus spacing plus 10. Sure, maybe I want to do offset, maybe not adding the offset, right? Yeah, that looks good. That looks even better, I think. So let me move everything back to the center. Maybe a third of the screen, and let me do 0.5 now. There we go. I think we've got it to a science. Let me do 5 instead of 4 now. Yes, we've got it. So if I do 8, it's also, so this is what we had at the beginning, and now we've recreated it. Let me put this in full screen. There you go. So this is the sketch that I have right now. I'll be leaving it in the description down below, the repository where you can clone this code and try it yourself. Hopefully you can make something a lot more creative with it. But yeah, this is the base principle of the sketch. And let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, anything regarding the code or regarding something else that you want to share with me down in the comments down below. This has been fun. It was one of my first one, which I didn't do prior to doing it live during the video, but I think it went well. We did 40 minutes for this. I think it's fine. So let me know down below if there's anything else we could have done, right? Anything else you want to do on that sketch. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. See you guys.